Hey guys, it's Ernest. Call of Duty has been a staple in the FPS genre since 2003. 15 years later, we're taking a look back at all their main titles released on major platforms, ranking their play scores from worst to best. The play score is an average of gamer and critic ratings. When a game only reaches the minimum requirement of critic or gamer reviews, it receives a provisional play score. Kicking off the countdown is Call of Duty World War II. Much like the war it was based on, World War II left us divided. Entering shelves last 2017, the recent installment aimed to bring the series back to its roots. That is, after their many visits to the gritty cyborg features of their previous series. Revolving around Red Daniels and his 1st Infantry Squad, its campaign, while moving and well characterized for some, it's mostly overshadowed by its long, unskippable cutscenes, short length, and internet connectivity requirements, among other bugs and annoyances. Earning acclaims and nominations from various awards bodies, most of the hate seems to have come from disappointed gamers who lobbed complaints against their recycled ideas, awful maps, and unfriendly multiplayer scene. Certainly not Activision's best. It has a play score of 6.44 on the PC, 7.68 on the PS4, and 6.47 on the Xbox One. Moving up at number 14 is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. About 100 or so years in the future from Advanced Warfare, the 13th entry to the series does not disappoint, expanding combat to the scale of the whole solar system. Set mostly in space and starring Kit Harington as the gruff Admiral Koch, the campaign is seen as one of the series' underrated gems. Released after Black Ops 3, both their single-player and multiplayer modes failed to break any new ground, playing it safe with only a sprinkle of not even so surprising new features. On the other hand, their Zombies mode that comes complete with amusement rides and funky arcade vibes has become the hallmark of the title. Forming a balance between platforms, it's rated 7.08 on the PC, 7.73 on the PS4, and 6.68 on the Xbox One. At number 13 is Call of Duty Ghosts, the series' most polarizing game yet. Released in 2013, Call of Duty Ghosts was the installment that attempted to bring innovations to the long-running formula, dividing the opinions of critics and gamers alike. It received great reviews from IGN and GameSpot, who praised its campaign and reinvigorated multiplayer mode. Pitting up to 4 players against ancient cryptids, extinction is one aspect of the title that was universally praised. Not so for its campaign. Aside from leaving us hanging, it was panned for being poorly written and voice acted overall. Though their DLC maps are described as one of the best, it all came after its base maps received heat for being too big and sparse for an ordinary 6v6 game. It's turning around these days with understandably fewer numbers, but it remains bottom tier with 6.12 on the PC, 7.42 on the PS4, 7.32 on the Xbox One, 8.42 on the 360, 7.02 on the PS3, and lastly, 8.06 on the Wii U. At number 12 is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. We haven't fully forgiven these guys for getting Roman numerals wrong, but maybe, just maybe, those things work differently in the future. And speaking of future, it looks like Treyarch's got their mind on their own with a gamble towards the full multiplayer experience. It seems to be working, at least for the critics reviewing it on the 3 main platforms. Reworking their health system and marking the return of the specialist, Blops 4 created a multiplayer that is geared towards teamwork. There's also much talk around Blackout, which features Battle Royale gameplay with a rare AAA flourish. Weighed down by gamers disappointed with the lack of a campaign and the faulty servers, it has a play score of 7.35 on the PC, 8.44 on the PS4, and 6.98 on the Xbox One. At number 11 is Call of Duty 3. Released just a little over a year after Call of Duty 2, this 3rd installment was one of the earliest declines in quality. Described as one of the first attempts at a yearly release, and we know how that worked out for another video game series, the title had all the markings of a rushed game. Aside from feeling a little rough around the edges with some bugs and network issues, COD 3's campaign also lacked the narrative shimmer players came to expect after the previous titles. Where Treyarch got it right though, and something the earlier games were known for, was the graphics, showing off the gritty beauty of war through the eyes of the Americans, Polish, British, and French. It has a play score of 7.91 on the Xbox 360 and 7.38 on the PS3. Paying respect at number 10 is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. The 11th main installment, Advanced Warfare took everything they learned from Ghosts and poured them into a portrayal of life in the Marine Corps in the year 2054. Stunning was one way critics and game award bodies called it. starting the trend of futuristic COD titles with fancy exosuits that open it up to the added kick of a clutch double jump. Advanced Warfare also featured Kevin Spacey's CGI acting chops, which added much to the expensive feel of the campaign. Enjoying high marks on most other platforms except the PC, what is the same COD game slapped with slipshod futurism for some is one of the best for many others. It receives a play score of 6.75 on the PC, 8.28 on the PS4, 7.98 on the Xbox One, 8.48 on the Xbox 360, and 8.22 on the PS3. At number 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The third entry to a great sub-series comes full force to the future in the year 2065. Call of Duty's most ambitious project at the time, Black Ops 3 cybernetic augmentations gave leeway for an array of new ideas. Changing up the game on their usually run-of-the-mill campaign is the 4-player co-op that ramps up excitement for the story's many twists. The multiplayer also felt more fast-paced with the addition of weapons and loadouts customization and character classes that let players play according to their style. With dwindling numbers in multiplayer, its noir-like zombies mode is still as enjoyable as ever. Rated 7.08 on the PC, 7.92 on the PS4, and 7.5 on the Xbox One. At number 8 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Greatness comes in pairs and rarely in threes. Struggling to fill in the shoes of two of the best games of the series, Modern Warfare 3 suddenly felt like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 to what is arguably Call of Duty's own best sub-series. In it, Soap McTavish sets his sights on France to find a lead on Russian agents. While it could hardly compare to the innovations of its predecessors with its sprawling Parisian set pieces and frenetic multiplayer, it was anything but bad. Covering the expected ground with a few bells and whistles in weapon progression and multiplayer add-ons, Modern Warfare 3 felt familiar for those who enjoy the impact of 1 and 2. Dropping the soap in treaded waters, it's still great by modern standards, with a play score of 7.76 on the PC, 7.86 on the PS3, and 8.53 on the Xbox 360. Coming up on the number 7 spot is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Rounding up meaningful innovations for this sequel, Activision's 9th Call of Duty entry was the first to bring the future to the now. Jumping back and forth from the 80s and the year 2025 in pursuit of one cartel leader, Black Ops 2 is packed with the multiple endings of their non-linear storytelling. While there are disagreements about the campaign's writing, what seems universal, as with most COD games, is the fun of their multiplayer that's made livelier and more skill-based by the league play. Raking in the money with branching storylines, the Cold War, and jetpacks, this is COD futurism at its first and finest, and its multiplayer is a mainstay ever since. A play score of 7.77 on the PC, 7.42 on the PS3, 8.24 on the Wii U, and 8.38 on the Xbox 360. Number 6 gives us Call of Duty Black Ops. Black Ops may well be the more basic of the trilogy, but what it brought to the table, especially in its time, served as the robust foundation for what was to come. Injected with the flavor of the groovy 60s, the Cold War and the jungles of South Vietnam proved to be a fitting backdrop to the game's short but thoroughly engrossing single-player campaign. And we haven't even started talking about the game's multiplayer modes. Flawed as it was also hilarious, silly, and sophisticated in its own way. Coming with much needed refinements and a whole lot of breakthroughs, is a classic we gladly come back to. Rated 7.89 on the PC, 8.09 on the PS3, and 8.41 on the Xbox 360. Standing at number 5 is Call of Duty 2. 2005 was a great year for shooters, and Infinity Ward continues their Call of Duty craze with a sequel to their critically acclaimed first-person shooter. Call of Duty 2 was the first of the series to embrace the horrors of war with their cinematic intensity and chaos. Its immersive battles won them over 80 Game of the Year awards. It also introduced the regenerating health system where players can simply take a quick rest and their health will be okay in no time. Just like the original, the campaign spans 3 stories, notably the Soviet, British, and American perspectives. What is essentially Saving Private Ryan in video game form, it has a play score of 8.38 on the PC and 8.22 on the Xbox 360. At number 4 is Call of Duty World at War. With all these massive Call of Duty games, let's not forget about Treyarch's return with an even better first-person shooter experience. It aimed to redefine the World War II concept like never before. It tried to be better than the original Call of Duty game with improvements on combat and visuals while providing a wide selection of guns to choose from. Its main setting takes you to the European and Pacific fronts where you encounter kamikaze fighters, bonsai charges, and other crazy shit. Despite its newfound energy, the best thing about World at War is its 4-player co-op mode, where you team up with friends and survive the game's campaign. It receives a play score of 8.56 on the PC, 8.07 on the PS3, and 8.1 on the Xbox 360. And the top 3 spot belongs to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward's epic action thriller reminds everyone that the first-person shooter genre is still alive, and it comes with a campaign that'll make men cry. This marks the ever-increasing fanbase of franchise favorites, namely Soap McTavish and Captain Price. It was such a bestseller that they had to remaster it for the sake of new players. Not only did it prove that they can make an amazing single-player story, they also introduced a multiplayer mode that completely changed the way we see Call of Duty forever. Still active despite Blackout's success, dominate the battlefield once more with their kill streaks and 360 no-scopes. A play score of 8.72 on the PC, 8.59 on the PS3, and 8.74 on the Xbox 360. Second place is Call of Duty. Infinity Ward's OG Call of Duty game not only defined the first-person shooter genre, it helped modernize the shooter concept after other major games on the same genre like Medal of Honor. Set in the center of World War II, the game immediately takes you to the battlefield. Play as multiple characters in major locations during the Second World War. Jump through 3 unique campaigns that tackle all the key players during the war: the Americans, British, and Soviets. Aside from that, its new take on AI introduces the gaming world to companions and allies that support you in your single-player journey. Becoming the pillar for the future of what is now a successful FPS franchise on the PC and out, it receives a provisional play score of 8.78. Before we reveal the number 1, you can check out all new and upcoming games at our website, whatoplay.com. Links are right here in the top right corner and the description box below. And the highest rated Call of Duty game is Modern Warfare 2. If Modern Warfare had 3 big shoes to fill, the pressure was likewise on for this sequel. Thankfully, it seemed their efforts came to fruition. Already widely recognized as the pioneers of the genre, this entry also cemented their reputation as master storytellers. Infinity Ward's sequel to Modern Warfare continues the heart-racing action with a new enemy that threatens to upset the balance of the new age. Marking the return of Soap and his new role as captain, its campaign gave birth to unmatched maps, unforgettable missions, and even more unforgettable memes.
No rush.
It has a play score of 8.54 on the PC, 8.72 on the PS3, and 9.02 on the Xbox 360. And that was the ranking of the top 15 Call of Duty titles. If you love this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified What to Player. That's about it. See you next time.